Got a really awkward video if you want to watch a really awkward video. Do you want to watch a really awkward video?
A lot of... So here she is, hello. Kristen from California. And so why are you here, Kristen?
I'm here to use the best sand in the world. And to meet my guru at Sandcastling.
So how did you start building sandcastles?
He finds it funnest, doesn't he?
I just started building sandcastles from when I was little, but they were always very simple. And then
You came from all the way from America to come on holiday in England to come and build sandcastles. Who's convinced you to do that? Let me show you.
A lot of sun the day before, you actually go and buy an umbrella.
Andy Hancock is the #1 sandcastle building advice site in the world. You would think that on his banner he would have a fucking sandcastle. On his videos, you would think that his thumbnails would have pictures of sandcastles. Sometimes they sort of do, but a lot of the time they're just lots of text. He's doing a podcast at the moment that's not getting very many views. This is Andy.
Videos, but and that's what I'm trying to improve. So one of the questions I was asked recently, a few weeks ago, and it's taken me a few weeks to come up with an answer, and that is must be a world record for me, I can tell you, because usually I research a subject and I have a very worldly view because I've travelled a lot, and
seems quite interesting and personable. Andy's podcast might not be about sandcastles, but his channel is, so maybe this should go on its own channel. But Andy's podcast is about stuff. His most popular videos, and get this, right, after I've dressed that up, his most popular videos have got 1.6 million views there, and 850,000 views, 475,000 views, 100,000 views, 100,000 views. These are 8 years, 5 years ago. 8 years and then a gap and then 5 years. So it is possible to have a lull between and then hit the big time number again. And look, I'll tell you what's big on these that I'm seeing here is it's a sandcastle. This one, sandcastle building in 5 minutes. Yeah, I can see why that might be popular. And how to build a sandcastle, like having interesting pictures of sandcastles, and that's the video. Got it, that works. So I'm scrolling down, I'm seeing more sandcastle based videos. Yeah, should we have a little look at one?
Hi, and welcome back to South Padre Island, Texas. My name's Andy Hancock, and
he's in Texas. Fuck. I thought he was in England. I didn't realise in Texas. Does Texas have a beach? Hang on. Let's search for Texas. Is Texas in America as well? Like, it does have a beach, look. Fuck. It's all up at the sea. It's all along the sea. The Gulf of Mexico. Mexico. Build the wall. Build, that's the... Look at the border all along there. I didn't realise. It's right down the bottom of Texas, isn't it? Right on the border there. I suppose it is, isn't it? Big long border there. And then there's the sea. And the sea is shared with Louisiana and Alabama and Florida and Mexico and Cuba, and they call it the Gulf of Mexico, so it's Mexico's. And then these are beaches then, I guess, like you can go and chill out on the beach in Texas. Like, you don't think of it in that way, do you? You think of it as like all deserts and oil and cowboy hats and big cities. There's not that many beaches. Look, this is a beach, Jamaica Beach. It doesn't look like the sort of beach that you might go on with a towel. It doesn't look like it's got white sandy beaches, does it? It's strange to have such a long shoreline and not have so many white sandy beaches. Corpus Christi. What's this? I mean, obviously there is a beach. I've just seen that man on it building a sandcastle. I thought that woman had gone on holiday from America to England. But it's not. She's in Texas. Wow. He's in Texas. He's from Britain.
The Sandcastle capital of the world.
Sandcastle capital of the world. Now, I'm a bit worried about the pictures of kids. that instantly just makes me a little bit like, you know, puts my radar up a little bit. You know, my I'll you know, I'm not reserve judgment. I don't want to send people over to him saying he's a nonce if he's definitely not. Like, but like.
Today we're going to use the 3 golden rules.
I was only joking, messing about. I mean, I didn't put the pictures of kids on, but he did. Anyway, look.
Rules of sandcastle building, and the first one of these rules is only use wet sand. I don't just mean semi-wet.
I mean, this works. Like, so you've got your video, you're into it quite quick. Like, this is the first 10 seconds, 15 seconds of the video, and you are telling us what you are doing, and you are doing it. So this is good.
I mean sloppy wet. Sloppy wet just like this. So you can put it down and shimmy. You can lift it out of the bucket, 2 hands, bring the water with it. It has to be a liquid. As I say, wet, sloppy sand. Sand can only be too dry, never too wet. So you can pile it up like that, because the reason for the water and the sloppiness is so the water will bind those sand crystals together and make you a better sandcastle.
So it's like sand patties.
The second rule is build it like a pyramid, and that doesn't mean literally like an Egyptian pyramid. What that means is
bigger base, smaller at the top.
Wide at the base and thin at the top, just like me.
So you're slopping on the sand, got it, yeah.
To build the best sandcastle, we need
Looks a bit like
to introduce you to the best toolkits, and our basic set can do anything that you need to do. We have the
So he's selling things, is he? Or is this just like, I mean, if I were him, I would be selling the kit, yeah? Because you're getting loads of views on this video, and you've got your t-shirt on, and you know, you've got your official shirt on. Like, I'm 50-50 as to whether I'm getting good or negative vibes, like, in a way. Like, I'm getting slightly creepy vibes, in a way, but let's go on.
Famous straw from the one and only Whataburger restaurant in Texas. These things are fabulous. They don't split, and they're really good.
But they're plastic straws, and you're on the beach, so you probably want to recommend people don't bring plastic rubbish to the beach.
We have the floppy duster. Absolutely brilliant nylon dusters, get rid of all the debris.
You want to see them floating in the sea.
The mechanical pencil. Yeah, there he is, super beast.
Plastic.
And then the one magical tool of all sand sculptors, the cooking spatula. And this
Well, that's a proper tool.
is a 3.5-inch spatula, and it's had the end cut off it.
Okay, so like, and then you know, again, he's going to show you a bit of carving on the sand, and that's how you carve
Golden
the
rule
sand,
is you
but-
start from the
Got it, yeah. So I can see why that video is successful. You know, I don't know why he's doing the podcast now, but I would lean more. And even this one, look, sandcastles are easy carving. Look, that's a good video, 1,000 views, but the thumbnail's not of a sandcastle, so I'd make the thumbnail lean on the thumbnail. So now we know who he is. Let's see what's happening in this.
So here she is,
Hello.
Kristen from California. And so why are you here, Kristen?
I'm here to use the best sand in the world. And to meet my guru at sandcastling.
So how did you start building sandcastles?
I just started building sandcastles from when I was little, but they were always very simple. And then I started watching Andy on YouTube, and my sandcastles got really good.
And so where do you build? Where's your beach? Where do you go?
Oh, we go to Dorn Beach in Bodega Bay, California. It's about an hour north of San Francisco.
Oh,
Pretty specific.
there you go. Okay, that's cool. That tells everybody where. That tells them some secrets. And so what did you come here for? I know you wanted to see what the sand is like, because I'm always going on about how good the sand is.
Yeah, I came here specifically to learn how to transition the sandcastle from one bucket to another. So we used a small bucket here on the top part, and then
Like, I get it, like, right, but like, it was a bit weird the way he was laughing at her all the time, and it's a little bit kind of awkward, this. And then maybe I'm, you know, throwing shade where there doesn't need to be, but, you know, doesn't it attract children doing this? Like, that one in the background looks like a wanker. Like, sorry, not a wanger. Like, but doesn't it attract children? Maybe he's a very, like, personable, family-friendly kind of guy. Maybe it's that.
transition
Colette says, I see Sex Mad Val in the background. I love it.
it to the bottom one.
Right, and then you also wanted to do something special, do a bit of a hand stack at the bottom
Yeah.
to make your dormer, your special extended window.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And so, what do you think of South Padre then? You've never been here before.
I think the sand is beautiful, but the weather and the humidity is pretty rough.
Yeah, because as is per usual on St. Patrick, people fly in, they get here late, then they go out and party, look at the water, stand in the moonlight, drink a lot, then get up the next morning with a hangover, then go to the beach in the sun.
That's exactly what I did.
That's exactly what she did. As in, like, creepily exactly what she did. Like, exactly what she did.
We got here really late at night, and I'm like, let's go find the water, and we found the water, and we were drinking, and supposed to meet up with
Like, were you stalking her?
Andy at 10 a.m., and 10 a.m. came really early. And it was...
Oh, he's cross. He's cross that she wasn't there at 10 a.m. Like, you know, you're supposed to meet me here at 10 a.m. You didn't invite me out for a drink last night. I'm going to show you up on the camera.
It was a really long day.
Yeah, we had a big day on the beach yesterday. It was a long day. So yeah, we've made
he was there.
A castle today, which is fantastic, and just Kristen's more experienced at building sandcastles, so a lot of people come down and talk to me about where to go on the next stage, like you, how to make it not look like a bucket or transition, or how to build something really big, or how to add to the bottom of something really big, and all that sort of thing. So it's great. It's very, very nice to meet you after all those years.
After all these years.
Because I felt so sorry for her. I said, where's the bucket? And she said, it's still on the beach. When she stacked this bucket and she couldn't get it off, she had to leave it overnight.
You shouldn't leave the bucket on the beach, surely. Like, isn't that just like rubbish, like littering? Aren't you like grassing her up for littering on the camera? Again, doesn't this make her feel uncomfortable, you saying this?
And yeah. I'm like, wow. So I went out the next day and it was actually blowing a gale. If you watch the video, you'll see my hat going all over the place. And it was blowing a gale when I made the video. And it was so loud, the wind was, I had to do a voiceover on the video. And because it was really blowing. But
he's like trying to drive home how like bad the weather was that he went out to rescue this woman's bucket. Like you've put him through this because you left your bucket out there, you selfish. I'm getting bad vibes. Is it just me or am I getting funny vibes? Like, is it, you know, you tell me.
I thought, I can't leave that poor woman stuck on a beach in California with a bucket she can't get off by herself. So that's why I made the thing. And it's, but we've discovered a few things, like your trash can is very old, isn't it?
It is. I've never bought a new one, and I just learned today that I need a new one because the inside of it gets so scraped up that it becomes like sandpaper, and that's why it's so difficult to get off.
Yes. And how long did it take you to get the last one off when you went up there?
Oh, it was like an hour maybe. It took a while.
He's like shaming her now, isn't he? Like, your trash can was rubbish, and you had problems with that, didn't you? Yeah, you and your shit sandcastles. Learn from the master.
Yeah, it took a while. So, and then
I'm tell you what, I'm just getting awkward vibes. Like, she's looking away. She's like, you know, smiling, but like going along with what he's saying, but looking away. Like, I'm getting the feeling she doesn't feel comfortable having this interview, and he's not making it any easier for her.
That's Russell working on his work of art. Yes, and Russell.
You say you don't get any weird vibes, just people doing sandcastles. Big ups, then. Fair enough. Although, do not think that one in the background looks a lot like cock and balls.
Russell's has a particular feel for sand. And that's all we're going to say about Russell. But yeah, Russell's in the zone.
Like, it looks incredibly like a phallus.
At the moment. And it's just wonderful. Yeah.
Look, hey, hang on. He's just drifted the camera up. Hang on, let me get this up. Come on. This is not really acceptable, is it, on a public? Is it? I don't know. Maybe it is. When, you know, I know people make snow willies, and it's a bit of fun, isn't it? But I also do honestly think when I see the snow willies... oh, hello. Look who it is. When I see the snow willies, I do always think, like, funny as a giant phallus is. Actually, why am I moving that? That was a bit unexpected. Control Z. Whatever that was. Let's have Firefox, please. Thank you. Whenever I do see the snow willies at winter time, I do think kids have got to see that. And, like, I wonder what... You know, it must be troublesome for some parents. But this, look, this is the full image that I'm just slightly cutting the top off because of the frame. Like, what's he doing? So... this is going to attract children because my worry about the practice is that you're a single man on the beach. You seem cheerful and kind. That's fine. But then so do pedos, don't they? And then you're doing something. I mean, you might have a passion for sand sculpture. Fair enough. But you're doing something that will attract children. So I suppose you put on an official looking top and you've got leaflets and like you're prepared to sort of interact with the public, so that's okay. Like less creepy, more official in a way. Like, you know, someone can find you on the internet. Like, I mean, that's positive, I suppose. But then you've got this fella who's made a fucking giant penis. Like, he's not affiliated necessarily. I mean, it just seems like, big up Slick Willy Deeg. There you go, Colette, you can have a laugh with Slick Willy Deeg. Giant wobbly cock monster. When's the film post competition? It will be Halloween. Our last stream for Halloween, whatever. I haven't looked at I haven't looked at the calendar. But it'll be our Halloween stream sometime conveniently around near Halloween, whichever, either the day that Halloween is or the weekend of, depending on. But lots of people like to do parties for the weekend of Halloween, so I don't know what I'm doing, but we'll just see. You know, we'll work it out. But I honestly, maybe I'm being overly protective, or maybe it's me sort of with my radar on the internet looking. I've got to be really careful, because I'm not going to say like, you know, this man is a nonce, we don't know anything about it, like not with Alan, but I get an uneasy vibe from the idea that someone's on the beach attracting the attention of and interest of children with their whatever the fuck they're doing. As a general, you know, I suppose it could be completely innocent. Maybe I'm just being overly, you know, maybe I've had the folk devil of paedophiles like drummed into my mind through media culture. But no, I don't think the penis will attract them. I think that the sandcastles will attract them. Like, I think, imagine you're on the beach and you've got like a big fishing rod and you're doing your sea fishing. Like, you might get a kid or two come over 1 or 2 times, say, oh, you're doing sea fishing, this looks interesting. But in the main, you'll be left alone to do your sea fishing because you're just an adult doing some sea fishing. But if you're making a big sandcastle, the adults might walk past, but every child that walks past your giant sandcastle is going to stop and go, oh, look at the giant sandcastle, how'd you do that? And you might just be there selling buckets and straws. Or it might be that, like, you know, the attention from children is positively warranted. Or it might be that he's a really nice guy. Like, you know, I might be overly protectively worrying here. So maybe I'm being overly protectively worrying. But the sand penis has set me right off anyway. So.
Yeah, you see, he's having fun. And Russell is the one that likes the scraping. He is the master of the art of scraping. The Zen art of sandcastle scraping. Well, it's just wonderful to meet you both. Thank you for coming all this way. It's at least 2,000 miles. So.
It was great.
Yes, so, yeah.
She's got the We Don't Do Boring hat. Like, she's been following this guy's YouTube for ages. She's got an old tatty hat with the logo. Like 6 years ago when it was millions of views, she's been on it for years. Like, now she's getting to meet her hero. Bless her, it's cool.
Yeah, so now we're going to head out and get some lunch, and that would be nice.
I mean, everyone can tell me in chat what they think. I've got my... I've got my confused first impression.
Yes, we all overdid it a little bit yesterday, so, but it is another.
But it sounds like he's having fun and like he's interested in sandcastles for content. What's the word for content? Content consultant. I would say please start using pictures of sandcastles in your thumbnails, because that should work much better than this. And put your podcast on a different channel. I mean, it's a while, like you've been doing loads of them now, and a lot of them about sandcastles, so maybe don't. But put the podcast on its own channel, maybe, because I don't know, maybe not. Maybe we should watch some of his podcasts and see what he's talking about all the time. But it feels to me like the sandcastles thing. How to build a sandcastle in the UK? Well, this is in the UK. He is in the UK. That's a year ago. I wouldn't do the thumbnails with the little girl. I wouldn't do that. I'd do the thumbnails with the sandcastles. Sandcastling seems acceptable. Seems okay, you know. I suppose after a while, how many sandcastle videos can you make and watch? This is another one with a child in a swimsuit. I'm a little bit like about that. There's some more children. He's in America again 6 years ago. Like, where is he now? Can't really get a tell, can you? Can't really see what kind of beach it is. Is that Texas or the UK? But you know what I mean? Like, I just think there's something, like, I don't know, my radar just says there's something slightly sinister about busying yourself on the beach every day in a pastime that attracts children, having them in your videos and stuff. I'm 50-50 on it. So that's introducing us to Sandcastle building advice site #1 in the world, Andy Hancock. Like, we'll look into it more. I'm not saying he is a paedophile, absolutely not saying that. Definitely not saying that. He might be a very nice man. I'm just saying that, like, I found that interview to be a little bit, it was kind of in her face a bit in the interview, and then that's the channel. We'll have to watch some of his podcasts sometimes. Maybe. Like, that might be a cut for YouTube, I don't know. I've got someone else I wanted to look